Hello everyone, I'm Alicia. For this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a beaded turtle. Turtles are my favorite animals. I've had them for 12 plus years now, and I just love them. So I've always wanted a beaded turtle ring, and I cannot tell you how much I've played around with this design to get it just right so I can turn it into a ring. So these little guys here, they are the size of this quarter, so they're perfect as a ring or earrings if you want to make earrings, or a pendant, or maybe you can put him on a charm. So there's several things you can do with this little turtle. So his head is the most confusing part. I've changed it like 20 times. At one point his head was too big for his body, and then his head was too small, and then his head was so wide that he looked like a frog instead of a turtle. So I've done a lot of experimenting with this turtle to get it just right so he's super small so we can use him as a ring, earrings, a pendant, or a charm. Here's the list of materials you're going to need to make a turtle. 4 feet of 8 or 10 pound test monofilament, 25 6/0 beads for the shell, so the shell's one color and the body is a different color, 14 6/0 beads for the body, 2 11/0 beads in black for his eyes, 2 colors of 11/0 beads for your ring band. That's going to be my ring band colors. If you want to make him bigger, this one is the size of my actual real life baby turtles, and I made him with 6mm rounds, and his eyes are 6/0 beads. So he's an actual baby turtle size. Okay, so this little guy is pretty tough to make. He's confusing, but I'm going to try my best to explain how to do it. I'm first going to start out by picking up 5 seed beads and crossing to the 5th. So we have a total of 5 seed beads in a circle. I'm doing the back of his shell first, and then after that I'll do his body. Now that we have 5, on my right string, red, I'm going to pick up 3 seed beads, because this one here is our 4th seed bead. So we actually have 4 seed beads, and I'm going to pick up a 5th one and cross through that. Now we have this. I have to take this string that's closest to this bead, which is currently red, and pass it through that bead there. Now I have to take both strings. I'm going to take my right string, and I have 2 beads already in this circle, so this means I need 3 more beads. So there's 2, here's 3, and I'm going to pass through this. So each little circle is going to consist of 5 beads. Now we have this. I'm going to take this string and pass it through this C bead right here. Then on my right string, I have 2 C beads in this circle. I'm going to pick up 3 C beads. I'm crossing at the 3rd. Bring this down. So now we have this. We're going to take this string and pass through this C bead right here. So now we're starting another circle. I'm going to pick up 3 C beads and cross to the 3rd. Bring this down. So now we have this. So now I have to take this string here, not this one, this is our outside string, and I'm going to pass this string through this C bead and this C bead, those 2 C beads. Now I have to take both strings, and on my right string, my dominating hand, I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads and cross through them. Now we have the top of his shell. I just pinned his shell down so you can see what I'm doing with a beading needle. So these are the 2 beads we just crossed through. Pull those down. Now, with my right string, I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads and cross through the second. Now with my left string, I'm going to pass through these 2 seed beads right here in the side of his shell. Now, my right string, I'm going to pick up a seed bead and cross through that. Then, with my left string, I'm going to go through these 2 seed beads right here on the side. Now I'm going to swap hands. I'm going to make the black string my right string because he's pinned down. So I'm going to take this string right here and pick up 1 seed bead and cross through it. I'm going to pull this snug to tighten up his shell because it's getting loose. Now with my right hand, I'm going to take it and pass it through the 2 seed beads on the side of his shell. Then I'm going to pick up 1 seed bead and cross through it. Then I'm going to take this string right here, not this one, the one that's in the inside of my work, and I'm going to go through this seed bead here. Just like this. Pull it and tighten it up. Now I'm going to take my pin out. So now this is the back of his shell. Before we moved on, I just wanted to make sure that your turtle is correct. So if you look at the top of his shell, he has 1 hole in the middle, then he has 5 holes here on the sides. And then when you flip it over, well, they're actually circles. There's a circle, 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 circle. Flip it over, there's actually circles on this side too, but instead of groups of 5 beads in a circle, it's groups of 4 beads in a circle. So, if you look at the top of his shell, every hole in the top, like this hole, if you put a needle through it, should line up with a hole in the bottom of the shell. And the reason why I say this is before, when I've done his shell, I went and passed my needle or string through these 2 beads here, and then I started making circles working off those. So it was like this, and then when I went to add his body could not be added because it was impossible. So you have to make sure that your holes are aligned on the top and on the bottom of your turtle's shell, just like this. So this is his back, and this is his belly. I pinned him down again to his belly, and I am not going to cross these 2 beads here. I came out those 2 shells that I was when I last left off. I'm going to pick up a 6 aussie bead in a different color and crisscross it. Bring it down, and it's going to sit right here in this hole. Now, I have to find my longer string. So put those 2 together, stretch your string out, find the longer one. Okay, so my longer one is black. So what I'm going to do to make his head more secure so it doesn't wobble, I'm going to take my black string and I'm going to pass it through this seed bead, pull it through, Then I'm going to pass it down through this green, lime green sea bead that we just added. Pull that through, just like this. Okay, now I'm going to pick up 2 sea beads on my right hand, and I'm going to cross through the left sea bead like this. This is the top of his head. Now with my left string, it's now black. They change back and forth. I'm going to pick up 3 sea beads. On the 3rd sea bead, I'm going to cross through that sea bead. This sea bead is going to be his nose. So pull it tight, and right here, these 2 are his forehead, this one's his nose, this hole is going to be an eye, and this side over here is going to be the same. With this string, it's black, I'm going to go through this sea bead. Just like that. And then, with my right string again, I'm going to pick up 2 sea beads, and I'm going to cross through it. Bring it down. Now with my left string, this string here, this one, I'm going to pass through this sea bead here on the bottom, on the opposite side. So when you pull, they should be exiting out of these 2 beads here on both sides of his head. So these little holes are going to be where his eyes are at. So now I'm going to pick up 1 11-knot sea bead on each string, slide them down. I'm going to take 1 string and go down his nose, pull it, not too tight yet. Then I'm going to take his other string and go down this nose. Then I'm going to take the string on the right and go to this bead here on the side of his face under his eye. And I'm going to do the same with my left string. Sorry about that. I'm going to go through this bead right here. So now we have to tighten them up. So I'm going to unpin him because I have to flip him over. So now you see the bottom of his chin right here. Well, we're actually going to add his chin. This last sea bead is his chin. I'm going to put it on my right string, and I'm going to cross through it. Bring it down and tighten it up. Now his head looks like this. So I'm going to find which string is longer by putting them together and stretching my arm out. It's the red string. I'm going to pick him up. Now, to tighten his head up, I'm going to take the string exiting out of this chin bead, and I'm going to go through this side of his head, this bead here. That's the side of his head beside his eye, on his right eye, that is. Now I'm going to take this string and I'm going to go through this bead right here that is his neck. And turn him. Pull this bead out, or string out I mean. Now I'm going to go through this bead that's the left side of his face. And then I'm going to go back through his chin bead. Right here. And pull it out. So now the strings are back. They're now again exiting out of opposite sides of his chin. So doing that right there made his head rounder. So now we have to do some more securing of his head to his body. So I'm going to take my right string, it's red, and I'm going to go through this C bead, pull it out. Then I'm going to go through this bead right here behind his eye and the side of his head. Go through there. Now I'm going to go back through this C bead right here, going up. This is securing his head more. I'm going to flip it over. This string is exiting out of his chin. So if you look at the bottom of his head, we just did this string. This bead needs to sit right here in this gap. So I have to take this string, and to secure the other side of his head, I'm going to go through this bead. Then I'm going to go down the side of his face, beside his eye. Now I have to go back through this C bead right here, pull it, and now I'm going to go through this C bead, this one. I'm going to do the same on this side. Tighten him up. So now we completed his head and the back of his. Now we have to add his legs and his tail. So take your longer string, if one of them is longer than the other, and pick up one C bead and go through these two C beads right here. There's the first leg. Pick up another seed bead, and this time go through one. Pick up a seed bead and go through this one. This is his tail. There's two legs in the tail. Now pick up another seed bead and go through these two seed beads. I'm not going to pull that through all the way because I have to take my other string and pick up a seed bead and then go through these two beads here. Pull it. Now before we add the ring band, I like to straighten his legs out. I'm going to make the strings go down, and I think I'm going to put his legs straight out the back, because that's how they usually lay on my rocks outside. I have a turtle pond. They like to stick their legs out the back, and then their front legs are out sideways. So this is how he's going to sit, and then we are ready to do the ring band with 11 nutsy beads. So now I'm going to add the ring band on, but if you want to use them as earrings, a pendant, and charm, whatever, go ahead and do that. I think you can attach maybe through his legs a jump ring, a thin jump ring, or through his head, make a bail or something. So, exiting out the side, we're now going to add the ring band. This is the easiest ring band that I like to do, and also fastest. Pick up 2 11-aught beads on each string. Then pick up 2 more 11s and cross through them. Now we have this. I'm going to pick up 2 more 11s on each string. Slide them down. I'm going to pick up 2 more 11s and cross through them. Two more 11s on each string. Pick up 2 more and slide through these. Cross through these, not slide. Just like this. I'm going to do it one more time. 2 on each string. Pick up 2 more and cross through them. Now keep on going, repeating this over and over until you can put the turtle on the back of your finger and wrap the band around, and when it meets the other side of the turtle's body, then you know it's going to fit you. Then stop, and then I'll show you how to fill in the gaps. So I kept on going, and now I have a ring band that's long enough to wrap around my finger, and I put 2 seed beads on each side. I'm going to flip them over, and I'm going to hold on to the left string in my left hand, and I'm going to take my right string, and I have to crisscross my strings to these 2 beads here. Now it's a little tough because his feet are in the way, so I'm going to bend his feet down, go through 1 bead, pull it through some. This is actually my red string, it's faded. And now I'm going to go through the next green bead. So pull that leg down and go through that green bead. Now I'm going to swap hands because I'm right-handed. And I have to go in this direction. So I have to pull his front leg down, and I'm going to go through this green bead, this is my black string. Now I have to pull his back leg down and go through his other green bead. Now I can pull both strings just like this, and I'm going to pull the band down to the bottom of his shell so it's like that and he's popping out the top. Now I have to, if you want you can loosen it up because it's easier, I have to take my string and go down these 2 C beads on my right side. I'm going to take my left string and go down through these 2 C beads right here. Now pull it, and it's all tightened back up. So now we have to fill in the gaps here in between the brown C beads. It's very simple. I'm going to push my 1 string off to the side. I'm going to do the right side first. I'm going to take my right string, pick up 1 C bead, I'm going to do green, and then I'm going to pass it through these 2 brown C beads right here. 2 at a time. Pick up 1, go through these 2 right here, pick up 1, Go through these two right here. One more, just to show you. Then go through these two. So that's very easy. Do the same thing on this side. Fill in between every two seed beads in these gaps here where the seed beads go across, and do that all the way over here. Fill it in all the way over here, and fill these two in here too, and then exit out these two brown seed beads. So keep going until you do that. So now we have to tie knots. We cannot pass our string through these green beads, because if we did that, the lime green ones that is, if we did that, the ring would be like this, and it would be pulling really strange over here. We have to do the same thing on this side, and we have to go through these two dark green seed beads. So I'm going to take one of the strings, I'm going to do the right one, and have to push his leg down and pass this string. This is my black string, but it really don't matter because you're going to do the same to both. Pull that through, and then I'm going to go to his right string. I'm going to push this leg down and go up through this green bead here too. Just like that. Make sure it's a little snug. Now, because our strings are actually meeting this time, I'm going to tie a surgeon's knot. So left over right, bring it down, just like that. And then I'm going to go left over right again, and then one more time. Bring this down slowly. Just like this, pull it nice and tight. Now I'm going to pass both of my strings up through this bead. Now I'm going to separate my strings, and I'm going to take one this way, I'm going to take the other string this way, and now I'm going to tie half hitch knots in the back of his shell. So, like in my cubic right angle weave video, that was my last video, if you've seen that, I'm going to take the ends of my fishing line, and I'm going to take either tweezers or chain nose or bent nose pliers, and I'm going to bend it like that, and it's going to give it a 90-degree angle. Then I'm going to take my string, and I'm going to go through this little triangle. Right there you'll see a little triangle of strings. I'm going to go through there, and I'm going to come out the top. Oops, lost it. And it looks like I need to bend it a little more. This time I'll use my pliers. Bend it. That's good. I'm going to go through here, the little triangle. Right there it is. I may have to grab it with my tweezers. It's right there, but it won't come to the surface. Yep. Okay. Make a loop. I'm going to go through this loop twice. Pull this knot down. Then I'm going to pass through this bead here. Pull it, and the knot gets hidden right there inside of that bead. So just continue knotting this with hitch half knots, passing your string through it, bending your ends with your pliers, making them a right angle so you can go up through those beads, and you might need tweezers. So keep on going, knotting your turtle. So I kept on knotting my turtle. I did the half hitch knots here on the sides, and then when I came through this bead, I tied the surgeon's knot. And then I went down here, I took one string to this side, one string to that side, and I snipped them off. So this is the finished ring. So I hope you enjoyed this 3D beaded turtle ring tutorial. I have so much work into him over the past few months trying to figure out how to get him to be the right size, shape, and how to make his head really sturdy so when you wiggled his head, it didn't move away from the body. They moved at the same time, so just like that. So I figured out how to make him perfect, and that's why I made a tutorial on it. So please subscribe, leave a comment, like this video, friend me on Facebook, show me what you've made, and I'll make you guys some more tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you all have many beautiful nights.